Hello, Blurry Chew. This is Pampered Camera. Hello, everyone. This is Pampered Chew, and today I have a thermal camera to fix. I got it on eBay for $150, and it showed up not working, which is kind of expected and more fun that way. But this is the control module for the camera. Camera's in there. And I've narrowed it down to just the power supply. I put in a new fuse. It had a 2 amp fuse. I put in a 3.15 amp fuse. It fizzled away as soon as I plugged it in. And so instead of fixing this power supply, I was looking at seeing what kind of power it actually requires. Maybe there's an easier option than fixing the power supply, and it actually looks like that's going to be the case. So we have 3 wires connected here. And so those are obviously some kind of maybe ground. And then 2 wires, these 2 wires, the red and the white, are actually connected to the same spot on that capacitor there. Or I meant not capacitor, but on the solder pad there. And that would make this little black one the ground also. Or maybe a 5 volt. Anyway, it's made it really easy for me to just throw out the whole power supply and start over with something new. It's 12 volts. Even though there's 6 wires, it's just 12 volts going to 2 of them, and one of them is a ground. It even has it labeled. So I'm just going to hook it up to my power supply here and see if I can get this thing to turn on. Probably will work just fine. This is what burnt up when I plugged in the new fuse, that thing, a little metal oxide varistor, whatever those things are. It decided to blow up too. So yeah, this is a thermal camera from 1990. It's a neat little device. It has a Stirling pump inside for cooling the sensor down to negative something 100 degrees. It's runs at 70 Kelvin. So this is a gallium, what is it? Gallium, mercury, cadmium, mercury, something you're not supposed to eat, but also they use in rechargeable batteries. I don't have a mistake. So I'm gonna go hook that up now and see if I can get it to turn on with just 12 volts. The doors being installed to my office here. So yeah, let's throw this old power supply out, and I will mark down what it said here. They just could label those return, so I'm guessing that's negative. Those 2 are positive because they're connected to each other, and that's probably ground also. And I can even trace it to that capacitor. It might even be a 5 volt, but I'll double check before I hook it up. Well, my soldering iron's warming up. I've taken a look at this, and I'm seeing that it is literally just 12 volts and a return ground, probably for signals and noise reduction. Anyway, I wanted to bring to your attention the hobby of 1990 children, first grade. This is what they used to do to annoy their teachers. And if you don't know what this is from the fan fold paper on the edges. You know, you print out your paper, and then all this classwork was on this kind of paper for me. And we would peel off the edges and make little springs. And I think we had maybe a bucket of 100, 200 of these after a few months. And the teacher got so mad he threw out the whole bucket and banned us from using fan fold paper for a while. I don't think that lasted too long, but we were not allowed to take off the edges after that. So I'm going to so basically, yeah, I'm just going to hook up, I'm going to leave this part alone here. I'm just going to hook these 3 up to a ground, because it says ground right there. That's going to be ground, and then that's going to be 12 volts. Okay, this is with the scanner not plugged in, just the control module. Ah, yes. Excellent. It might need a little warm-up time. That looks to be like a bad ground. Oh, I'll push on that and picture changes. Nice. Okay, so it's functioning. It's functioning, and I will see about connecting these grounds up here so they're all connected. Uh-oh. Oh, that came loose. Okay. Okay, so I have everything hooked up to 12 volts and ground. Nothing else special. In fact, I can get rid of this whole board in a second. The sound you hear is the pump in here. This is detector cooling. It takes about 5 minutes to get down to temperature. Using about 2.5 amps. Here's the video output onto my monitor. In black and white and in color. Looks like it's a pretty low hour system. It has 219 hours on it. It's kind of amazing for being 30 years old. And should kick on here any minute. Still says detector cooling. Okay. So this is like a real deal kind of camera. It has a 200 by 192 resolution at 60 frames per second. I'll let this continue pumping down. This has a little floppy drive there, so I can save pictures or recall pictures. Back before computers were just on every desk in every pocket, you might have had to view your pictures on a system like this because it was maybe unlikely to have a computer that could handle imaging. At the time, that would have been the very best you could have up there in Silicon Graphics, but I mean, if you bought one of these, you probably didn't have enough money for one of those also, being about the same price, over $100,000. Let's see here. I'll give it some more time. So for now, it still says detector cooling, and it said it's supposed to take about 5 to 10 minutes. It's been running for 5 to 10 minutes, and it's still not doing anything else. So I'm probably going to take the cover off of that and see if it's even getting hot or cold. There should be some heat coming off of it somehow, but I don't feel it getting hot anywhere. It's not even getting warm on the bottom. So it could be just the pump isn't working right. It's not cooling the sensor, and this has to be very, very cold. And heat has to go somewhere, so you should probably feel it on the case. I'm going to take the cover off and see what it is doing. Okay, here's the cover off. It looks, for the most part, it looks fine. Looks like they did some dead bug repair work there. These are probably made in very limited amounts, so that's how they would fix a problem they didn't intend to make when they built the thing. The foam is actually not rotted, so that's fine there. That's probably for it to calibrate, that little thing moving out there. So it's been running for 10 minutes and I don't feel any heat on this pump. Smells like old electronics. That's probably the scan head. I'm guessing some type of motor that spins. There's the tube. Oh, okay, I see some condensation. I see some condensation there. So, what do we got wrong? I see a bunch of wires too just hanging out where that tube is. I wonder if that's supposed to be just unconnected like that or what. So let me hook this back up. Check out that plug. Okay, turn the power on. You see that little flap I was pushing around is actually spinning. Okay, so the compressor doesn't seem to be doing anything. Nothing is getting cold, nothing is getting hot. It does have this little valve right here. It reminds me of a car's air conditioner that you were to fill it up, but I don't think this uses Freon or anything like that. That actually looks like a sealed cap there. I don't know for sure. It's like one of those things you kind of need documentation for this, because there's very even little information on how these function today. They just, people who own them don't really talk about it, and people who talk about it can't really own them, I guess. I don't know. So I see condensation, where it looks like condensation right there on that tube. It could just be my eyes, but nothing. This is not getting warm. It's not getting cold. It's not getting warm. Nothing is. And I'm not sure how these little pumps refrigerate the system, but it's supposed to make one side cold and the other side hot. And I believe everything is probably functional except for this pump is either leaked out its fluid. It could be running on ammonia or Freon. I don't think it's cold enough. Or it could just be plain old air pressure, but I'm gonna have to find some research manuals. Research some manuals. Everything else though seems to be working. The pump, I don't know what they're supposed to sound like. I've never had one before, but they are supposed to make that kind of sound. Turn it back on and well, I guess I could show underneath the lens there, the thermal lens. Yeah, so for now, that's all I can show. If anyone out there knows anything about this type of thermal imaging sensor and or maybe refrigeration system for it, which I'm pretty sure that's all that's wrong right now, is it's not pumping down to temperature. I should be able to feel heat somewhere and possibly cold somewhere, but at least feel the heat come off of it, and I'm not feeling any heat anywhere. Yeah, it's not even getting warm, and it should be hot. Something should be hot because it has to take the heat away from the sensor and put it somewhere. And I know it's not pushing it back through these electrical wires. There. That's it for now. I will post this video and see if I can get some help from anybody online, because this is kind of something you don't really find on YouTube at all. Alright, here's the back of it. There's the video outputs. There's a serial number on there. It all matches and whatnot. And there's the patent. But there's the thermal camera from 1990. This kind of bends down and pushes in. I might buy another one. A similar model, but I'm just trying to fix this one first.